Hello everyone, I'm Mike Levin from MikeLevinSEO.com, and today I will be implementing one of those click here to read more links so that my daily work journal can be published in MikeLevinSEO.com without scaring away people who end up on those pages. So, from my research I found that there's a Readmore.js which uses jQuery. I had been leading up to this because I had already installed the jQuery library for just this purpose, and this is its usage. Once it's installed, you just refer to the element or the class or the ID and call the readmore method on it, and you got one of those links. So to get the code, we go to code and go into that readmore.js, which brings us to GitHub, and then we click on the file for readmore. Now these raw buttons are actually access to the direct file, so I'm just going to copy that link address, and then I am going to jump over here to my command line and I'm going to vim. Okay, so this is the readmore include. That belongs in base, which is the template from which all other files are going to inherit. We've already got some script stuff going on, so near the other script stuff is probably a good place to put this, like that one there. I'll put it right above the tracking code. So I put my cursor where I want to start, I hit O, and I am going to type script space src equals, that's readmore, and I've got the min file, it's min.js. Close quote, and now I could terminate a script tag like this, which is completely valid, but the convention for script tends to be its whole separate own closing tag. I'm not going to save it yet because I haven't really gotten the file yet, so it'd be a reference to a file that isn't there, and I'm going to put it local in the same directory. That's why I don't need a path. So before even saving, I'm going to show you a trick of vim to drop out to the command line and then come back where you were. Now I hit escape to get out of insert mode. Now I'm going to hit :sh for shell. I'm now on a command line. I double check that I'm in the right place, then I do wget and I paste the URL that I just got. Hey, I didn't get the min one, I got the full size one, so I'll have to correct that before I save. So, but now I can just exit from this command line and get rid of the .min xxxx. Now I can save this, and it should be in my website now. So I'll go over to the browser, I'll go to my page, do a refresh, and then I'll do a view page source. Readmore.js. Now I'll actually click on that to make sure that the file is in fact there, which it is. Okay, and close out of that tab, and I can close out of that tab. Now I need to fill this page up with some text, and it seems to me that I should follow the article convention, the HTML5 convention for articles, because I'm going to have to apply this readmore method to an element or a class or an ID, and why not just do it to an element? So I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm going to do HTML5 article, and that should tell us about the article element. And the article element hopefully is simply pointy bracket article. There it is. That's all it is. So I'll pick up that, and I'll go over to Vim, and now this is going to go in index.html, which, as you'll remember, is inheriting from base. So there's the reference to base right there, first line, and I'll put this in under the headlines. Position my cursor, hit O for insert mode, and I do a paste, and I'll just close that tag out for closure's sake. And now I'm going to hit escape I'm going to hit dot. Whoops. That repeats the O. I am going to hit, let's see, escape. Okay, so I'm essentially going to start a kind of an ad hoc macro. So well, actually I'm going to do 20. That's a multiplier. I for insert, blah, space, escape, and I get 20 blahs. Now I am going to yank this line with a YY, and now I'll just paste it down a bunch. And that should be enough. Escape, :W. Now I go back to the web page. I do a refresh, and there should be a bunch of blahs in desperate need of the read more link. So I'll use all its default settings. You can feed values to this method, but I'm going to use the default. And all you have to do is call the read more method on a element by this name. Now I can do that right here on this page, but I plan on doing this throughout the whole site. So I'm going to do :tab E space, and I'm going to bring up base.html. Now I am simultaneously editing index.html and the base file it inherits from. And I'm going to go back down to where I'm doing script stuff, and I'll do yet one more script element. Script, end script. It's just a habit to make sure I close all the tags I start. There's macros to help with this. I tend to not use them. I just use more or less stock vanilla Vim with color coding. And so this is the way jQuery works. You can address elements with the $. That's the same as using like document, get element by ID, this very verbose JavaScript way of doing stuff. But if you're using jQuery, that just replaces all that. And the element I want to reach into is article. If it were a class, I'd put a dot in front of it. If it were an ID, I'd put a hash in front of it. And if all is good in the world, I should just be able to do read more, open, close. I'll put a semicolon at the end. Escape, :W for save. Now if all is good in the world, I do a refresh. Haha, read more. Now how's that for a good tutorial? Implementing the read more link in just a few moments. And that's in the template, so I can use it all throughout the site now. I guess for the sake of completion, I will use the :sh again, get status. Let's see what's changed. I've changed the base file, the index file, and there's 2 temp files from Vim having them actually loaded. It's a good reminder we haven't quit out of Vim yet. And of course the read more file. All I need to do is get. Now here's a place where you would not do get add wildcard because you don't want those temporary files added. But I add the new one, Readmore.js. It's good for starters. Get add Readmore.js. What's a good tutorial without at least one mistake? Now I can do git commit am. And A, in this case, stands for everything that's been modified or added. So it won't add those dot files from Vim. And added readmore.js. Git push. And that's it. If I type exit, there we are back in Vim. And I can do, let's see, GT. That cycles me through my open tabs. Well, thanks for joining me. Hope to talk to you soon, and don't forget to subscribe.